back with another banger. Today, I'm excited because with Surging Sparks releasing, Ancient Box can finally be played once again in the format. Now, there are some cards that you can add to the deck, and we'll kind of go over them. I didn't pull the new Stadium, which I think you could play one of these because this deck's hardest matchup is going to be any of the big Stage 2 EX decks like Charizard, and also against Dragapult. Those are the two hardest matchups for this deck. So the new Stadium, if you guys don't know what it does, it is minus 30 to Stage 2s. So it allows us to one-shot them a little easier. But let's put it to the side and we'll take a look at the Pokemon. So first up is going to be 4 of Big Daddy Roaring Moon. Well, technically it's Little Daddy, but this one hits for a lot of damage. Now you can one-shot Dragapult EXs, Charizard EXs later in the game, but in the beginning, of course, this is going to take out a lot of the Squawkabillies, really good to take out Miraidons, Raikou Vs. So Roaring Moon is just overall a really good attacker. When this card first released, I believe it was Paradox Rift, we just knew that this card was going to go crazy. Next up is probably one of the best opener. If you don't have the turn 1, attack with Roaring Moon, Flutter Mane in this format right now is broken. Flutter Mane has the ability of Midnight Fluttering, where as long as this Pokemon's in the active spot, your opponent's active Pokemon has no abilities, not billies. So let's say you're going up against a Miraidon player, they open up with Miraidon, they can't use Tandem Unit, they can't use Raikou. So what's awesome with Flutter Mane, it helps a little bit with the Raging Bolt matchup as well, which you already have a great matchup. And you can do some cool plays where against, like, let's say a Charizard deck, if they only have one Charmander, you can boss that up, sit on the Flutter Mane, you can do your 90, of course, but you could just sit with Midnight Fluttering, and they can't evolve. Well, they can evolve into Charizard EX, but they won't get the ability because it's in the active spot. This cooks Lost Box, which we know Lost Box will be coming back with the whole Pikachu deck and everything like that. And this does really well against the Pikachu too as well. So as long as you can get Pikachu out to the active, you can hit it with, let's say, a Roaring Moon, and then Flutter Mane can come into the active and then use the ability pretty much to stop that Pikachu ability. Next up is the new Flutter Mane. Once again, it's just better than playing what we used to play, the Walking Wake, or let's say 4 of the Great Tusk. And Perplexing Transfer, you never know where this could come in handy, but this could also be used against Dragapult EX, soften up the Dragapult EX when they spread their damage. So this Flutter Mane is pretty good. And then you have the new Koraidon. So we don't play the old Koraidon anymore just because this is a fighting Koraidon, so it just makes any of your electric matchups even better. It makes your Terrapagos matchup, of course, just even easier because now you just pretty much attack with Flutter Mane, spread the damage around, do your 90, and then this Koraidon can come out and then one-shot Terrapagoses, even with the Bouffalant. So this card is busted in that sense. So now we have a better Terrapagos matchup, and we have a better, well, we already had a great matchup against Miraidon, but it's even better now. One Great Tusk, always got to keep a card like this in the deck. Anytime you can add an extra win condition, so with Land Collapse, being able to mill someone, you have to play the Great Tusk. I think any deck that's not playing it, it's just, why not have that extra win condition? When I was at Baltimore, I ended up getting milled out by a Great Tusk. We play the 1 rating Greninja. Now, we're not playing the Petron EX. Personally, I would say play it, honestly. Once again, I still got to test more just because you don't want to lose against Stall. But if you're going to your locals, you know there's going to be Stall, then I would play the Petron EX. But if you're going to a big tournament, once again, I don't think you really have to worry about it. You will just hedge that matchup. But that's all the Pokemon that we play. So we're going to play 4 of Professor Sada's Vitality. It's busted. Once again, it's played in Raging Bolt. You play it in Ancient Box. It's just too good. And then we play Explorer's Guidance. Because we go our 1 prize deck, we can still open up Explorer's Guidance and still have the ability to do what we want to do the second turn. So Explorer's Guidance, super important in the deck. Once again, allows you to also get cards into the discard pile that are ancient. We play the 1 Penny. It's classic. It's Penny. Allows you to pick up, like the Radiant Greninja, then discard it. Allows you to get the active out Pokemon that you don't want. Boss's Order. Super important with Boss's Order. And I love the Giovanni's one. Need it to boss out the smaller EXs. And then we'll take a look at the trainers. So, of course, for Nest Ball, every Pokemon in the deck is a basic. So, super important for Nest Ball to have that. Then we have 2 Ultra Balls. So, definitely got to have the 2 Ultra Balls there. Really important to have the 2 Ultra Balls, being able to discard cards later in the game. And then we have the 4 Earthen Vessels. One of the best item cards. You need to see this. Honestly, really for Ancient Box to pop off, you either need at least 1 or 2 Dark Energies in your opening hand. And then, of course, Earthen Vessel allows you to get that. And then discard other Ancient Pokemon that may be in your hand that are just sitting there, adding to the Ancient count. Had to find room, so I went down to 3 Pokegears. I know a lot of decks play the 4. We're playing 3 Pokegear. I just like the 3. Not too much, not too little, just right. We have the 2 Counter Catchers. You have to play it because we don't want to clog the deck up with playing like Boss's Orders. So Counter Catcher, and you can also get this off of Pokestop. So we play 2 Counter Catcher. And all this is pretty simple. We play the 2 Super Rod, really needed. We play the 1 Heavy Ball. I like playing Heavy Ball. If you don't play Heavy Ball in the Ancient deck, it's one of those, like, if you prize your second 2 Roaring Moons, which does happen a lot for some reason for me, then you need it. I like Night Stretcher. Gets you kind of what you want at that time versus the Super Rod, especially. Night Stretcher is really good, especially when you get Iono'd and you get down to earlier hands. Super Rod theoretically is a dead card because, you know, you're going to Super Rod an energy and a Pokemon, but you have to then search that out. So Night Stretcher is way better. So in the beginning of the game or early in the mid game, it's best to Super Rod and to save the Night Stretcher for when you do get Iono'd. Superior Energy Retrieval, really good to get the energies. Once again, works really well against with the Ionos. Palpad, got a bit, especially when you mill off your Sadas, you got to get them back. We play the 1 Secret Books, definitely needed in the deck. Super busted because we play the items, the tools, 4 Ancient Booster Energy Capsules. Not many people play Lost Vacuums anymore, so feel free to attach these to your Pokemon as a way to discard them if you don't have the Ultra Balls. Pokestop, you gotta play it. Card's too good. It's always the debate. Greninja first, then Pokestop, then do this. But once again, it does it what we need it to do. And then we play for the actual energies. Right there, boom, 7 Dark Energies. All right, guys, so that was the new Ancient Box deck profile. Not much has changed from the deck, but once again, with the new Stadium card, you can play it. And I would recommend, if you do want to play it, just a one-of, something really good to, you can do 300 to a Charizard and then do something else. And then late game, you can grab the Stadium off Ancient Box, play it, knock out the Charizard, and then take another hit to something. And then I would also recommend then the Petron EX. Once again, just depending if you're playing at locals, you just won't lose to stall. But that's the Ancient Box deck. Let me know in the comment section down below any cards we should add, take out. Put it in that comment section down below. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, become part of the Poke Kingdom. It's been your king. Peace.